Good afternoon and welcome to the 99th Annual Park High School Commencement Ceremony and a special welcome to the class of 2015. At this time, the Park High School Air Force Junior ROTC cadets will now present the colors. Please stand and join our concert choir under the direction of Mr. Ben O'Connor in singing our national anthem. Please be seated. Again, welcome to this exciting event. My name is Carrie Timmerman, and I am the principal at Park High School. At this time, I would like to introduce the special guest with us this afternoon. Board members Ms. Tracy Brunette, Ms. Katie McElway-Stevens, Ms. Katie Schwartz, Mr. Joe Slavin, Ms. Sharon Van Leer, Ms. Michelle Whitty. Also present is our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Keith Jacobus, and our two Assistant Superintendents, Mr. Mike Johnson and Ms. Julie Nielsen. In addition, we are joined on the stage by Park High School administrators, Mr. Todd Hockman, Mr. Jonathan Hunt, Mr. Phil Kimmel, and Dr. Sarah Scullin-Stokes, and our honored staff speaker, Mr. Todd Hyland. Please join me in welcoming our honored guests. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the honor staff selected by this class of 2015. Please stand and remain standing until I have named all staff, at which time we will honor you with our applause. From the high school level, Mr. Joseph Adams, Ms. Yanni Eiden-Giel, Mr. Todd Hyland, Ms. Terry Jorgensen, Mr. Greg Juba, Ms. Maria Toll. From the middle school, Mr. Craig Bauman, Mr. John Engen, Mr. Christopher Foss, Ms. Sarah Neitz, Mr. Adam Qualley. And from the elementary level, Mr. Sean Duncanson, Ms. Michelle Harrison, Mr. Chad Palmquist, and Mr. Reed Chumperland. As you look at our staff members, I invite you to please picture the hundreds of dedicated educational professionals who have worked with these students and their parents to make this day possible. Thank you. At this time, I'd like us to turn our attention to the Park High School Concert Choir under the direction of Mr. Ben O'Connor as they perform Omnia Soul by Z. Randall Stroop.
Somewhere far from nowhere, I grew strong and
The class of 2015 is composed of excellent students who have done outstanding work at Park High School. We have 6 students who will be graduating summa cum laude with distinction, signifying a cumulative grade point average of 4.3 and above. Please note them in your program. 33 members of this class have a cumulative GPA of 4.0 or higher. Next year, this class of 2015 will be making their mark literally from coast to coast, attending colleges or universities across the United States. A total of 93 students wear an honor stole for their outstanding scholarship. Would all students with honor stoles please stand and receive our applause? And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the summa cum laude with distinction speakers representing the class of 2015. Mary Babinski, Hannah DeBrine, Alexandra Horvath, Jarrett Manzer, Tosin Olukoga, and Zachary Suseg.
Failure. It's a matter of perspective.
In our high school career, we experience many failures.
While failures may bring us down,
It is not about our downfalls, but how we overcome them.
There are many lessons we can learn from our failures, but most important, we must understand that our failures define us.
Our failures bring out the best in us as we try to pretend they don't exist.
However, we don't need to pretend that they don't exist anymore.
we must understand that everyone fails at some point in their life, which makes us human.
We wear our failures as a sheet of armor, both protecting and defining us.
Our failures define our responsibility.
We not only experience our failures, but overcome them.
We have learned to accept our own self-images.
Balance school and self.
And balance our lives.
These 4 years have given us an incredible opportunity to grow together.
We have learned to earn A's and learned to accept otherwise.
We have succeeded and we have failed.
We have made and lost friendships.
We have changed the culture and changed ourselves.
We have left a legacy that will last a century.
We run as one as the class of 2015.
Some may not believe us, but it's a matter of perspective.
High school has impacted our self-image in ways unimaginable. We started school not knowing which path we would take and what direction we might follow. We were vulnerable to the choices that were yet to be made.
Before high school, we used to take life as it was and go through the motions.
But as we grew in knowledge and experience, we began to take control of our lives.
Maybe not everyone knows this about me, but I wasn't born in America. I was born in Nigeria. I spent 7 years of my life there before I came to America. It was all a very different experience from my life back home. I started school not knowing the cards I would be dealt at the time. Elementary was hard for me.
The problems we were given and how we reacted has defined who we have become. When life places many stumbling blocks ahead of us, the way we accept and use them to motivate us to succeed show the kind of character we have developed.
I try to change myself so I can be perfect American and match the ideals of my classmates.
We began our high school experience in 9th grade, many of us with similar backgrounds and shared ideas. But as the years have gone on, we all have changed into different individuals.
With middle school came a higher diversity in class, personality, and origin. I became friends with people who had many and different backgrounds. I saw how they loved the skin they were in.
Our class is a group of diverse people who have found themselves in different ways. I began high school only focused on academics, but found my way when I branched out and joined new sports and clubs.
I started to accept myself and to love myself for who I am and who I am becoming. I started to appreciate the things I took for granted, and I can honestly say it has pushed me to become the person I am today. I learned from my experience that I can accomplish great things despite the many obstacles that have landed in my direction.
And with all that comes with accepting oneself, we must also be encouraged to become the person we wish to be, and always push ourselves to become that person.
If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. And is not the end. In fact, and means effort never dies. If you get no as an answer, remember no means next opportunity. So let's be positive.
These years have proven to be instrumental in the development and acceptance of our individuality.
Think about it. It's all a matter of perspective.
Sometimes the most arduous tasks are the ones created by our own minds. Since the beginning of elementary school, we have prioritized our commitments above all else, sometimes above even our own mental sanity, and the social life, extracurriculars, we could go on.
Too many times we have overloaded ourselves with too many responsibilities, forcing us to bear the weight of the world upon our shoulders. Personally, I was placing more stress on my mind that was already taxed by my depression and anxiety.
We all will eventually reach a precipice in our life and are forced to make a decision. Do we continue to allow ourselves to constantly be stressed and genuinely unhappy, or do we take a moment to stop and take care of our own mental well-being?
Standing where we are now, in front of our peers, next to my friends, my mother by my side, I'm confident we have made the correct decisions. Being always on edge, worrying about a deadline, paper, or exam doesn't have to be a constant pressure. Taking even a single second to do some introspection can have an overwhelming impact on your happiness.
Academics aren't everything.
Nor is excessive altruistic behavior or any other worry you may have.
Doing well in everything or earning a perfect grade is a temporary occurrence. How you choose to live your life and use your mind to its utmost potential is a constant. Success can be determined by how well you take care of your precious mind. Never let materialistic deadlines and obstacles come between you and your ultimate passion, whatever it may be, whether it is math, or cars, or music, or reading, or even sports.
But we must realize that we don't have to be the best at everything. Balance and being well-rounded will propel you much farther in life than doing any one thing perfectly. However, you can be the best at everything, your personal best.
Don't try to compete with other people.
Or even yourself.
In other words, don't pursue absolute success as determined by others.
Pursue your own happiness.
It's a matter of
perspective.
As I graduated elementary school, my 6th grade teacher told me that she would be looking forward to seeing my name in the paper when I graduate as a valedictorian.
That's a lot of pressure for a child.
At that point in my life, I didn't care about earning that title. I barely even knew what it was. But if someone could have that much confidence in me in elementary school, I knew I had to impress not only her, but myself.
We have all felt intense outside pressures and have had to figure out how to be internally motivated. This is perhaps the most important part of the path to adulthood. When we go out on our own, we have to know how to set goals for ourselves.
When I entered high school, one of my main goals was to have a perfect GPA, 4.0. I maintained this until junior year when I entered the IB program. This is when I experienced a grade that wasn't an A on my report card. However, my GPA still rose.
Jarrett started doing things he wanted to do.
I thought I had failed by not maintaining a perfect report card, but my thoughts on this changed as I progressed throughout high school. I began to focus more on learning and understanding the concepts in classes and not focusing solely on grades. This helped me balance my life academically.
He learned that as we search for perfection, we will hit adversity, but that adversity will help us become even better versions of ourselves than we could ever have envisioned. Failure is an important part of our lives. When I was in 9th grade, I had very distinct ideas about what I wanted to do. I said I didn't want to become overloaded, so I only joined one club.
We all had this fear going into high school. We were afraid of trying new things as we felt bound by our abilities.
That was a mistake, because I had few friends and I was rather lonely. During these 4 years together with all of you, I've learned to leave the classroom and participate in the community as well.
So Hannah decided to branch out.
I joined the math team and speech and debate and marching band and lit crew and realized that there is so much more than quietly doing all the work that is required of me.
There is always more you can do, and it is always worth getting out of your comfort zone. You may think you would rather do nothing.
But it's all a matter of perspective. Take a risk and you'll be rewarded.
After you graduate from high school, you will undoubtedly fail at something.
Failure is not what you should focus on.
The important part is what you do with that failure.
Participate in life and take care of yourselves.
As Thomas Edison once said,
Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time.
it has been an awesome 4 years.
And you can all succeed at whatever you want to do.
As long as you don't give up.
Thank you. At this time, our concert band, under the direction of Mr. Thomas Storm, will play the Jupiter Hymn by Gustav Holst. At this time, please welcome our 2015 student speakers, Henry Gibney and Jacob Hopp.
Hello everybody, I'm Jacob Hopp, and I read somewhere, at some time, in some place, that things said angrily drive any point across better. So with me today, I have my anger translator, Henry Gibney. Now, to begin, I'm going to recite 3 quotes, all from great men in history.
Y'all listen up, because we're about to copy and paste some dead people.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson.
All of us is the same. We all have 10 toes, in some cases 11. Jacob.
Hey man, we agree not to talk about that.
We all get to live. We all get to be free and go to White Castle at 3 in the morning to get a small coat and 25 sliders that we say aren't all for us, but they really are. And we all get to be happy. My man, Thomas Jefferson.
To become truly great, one has to stand with people, not above them. Charles de Montesquieu.
Man, if you want to lead people, you just got to get down there and embrace the suck with all your brothers and sisters.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Lois, this is not my Batman glass. Peter Griffin.
I'm not translating that.
Oh, come on, man. I hired you for a reason, so do it.
No, forget it.
Forget what?
Exactly.
Well, regardless, the point of these quotes is that they have been held together and endured the trials of the deadliest weapon in history.
Is it lasers?
No, it's time.
Time for what?
No, Henry, the weapon is time. If something can withstand the trials of time, it means something.
Okay, so what does this have to do with us graduating?
Well, time consists of 3 things: the past, the present, and the future.
The past? You know, I remember going to daycare at Chris's with Ryan Henning and Gavin Lund, and how me and Gavin, whenever we got off the bus, would hold hands walking back to daycare. I distinctly remember in kindergarten one day that Ryan Olsen stole Jeff Melson's Legos and they chased each other around the room. And how I had a huge crush on Christy Swites. She's at Eastern, you know. I remember how most people didn't like me because I hung out with Gunnar Andrews and he was very aggressive at dodgeball. I remember the huge book fairs we had and the Star Lab we had at elementary school and how that was the best time of the year. I remember in 3rd grade, the Wizard of Oz plays, when I forgot Jake, what's the word?
Lines, Henry.
Lines. I forgot my lines. I remember when we hit middle school and how nervous I was for the first day. I remember playing chicken with Michael Freiberg on our bikes, and we both went the same way, and I destroyed his bike. Michael, I am so sorry. I remember the last day of middle school, and how sad everybody got, because we'd been with each other for 9 years at that point, and we had to go our separate ways. Some of us to Park, most of us to Eastridge. Just like how we're all about to go our separate ways.
So in that case, I have the present. The present for me has really consisted of these past 4 years of high school, starting freshman year when, because of my 0-hour gym class, I remained sweaty for the first half of the day, leading some people to think I had just completed a triathlon. I began meeting people from other schools with different backgrounds that became good friends of mine. I even stepped on the Indian once, because kissing the ground is not the most fantastic thing in the world. Right here, in the present, things are fantastic, and people are familiar with where they are. Park High School has become a part of our home in these 4 years, and, like everything, except for The Simpsons, this has to come to an end at some point.
Seriously though, they've been airing episodes for like ever.
Come on, Fox. After all the tests I've taken, the knowledge I've gained, and the friends I've made in these past 4 years, I think it's about time. Time for Henry and I to finish our last our last
Lines, Jacob.
lines, finish our last lines, and leave our class off with a little talk about the future.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
What?
Sorry, we need you to reach a quota. Quota.
Go home.
Now, everybody, please do me a favor. Take a look around you.
Look at your peers and classmates, and think about how long you've known them.
The memories you've shared.
In school,
Out of school.
the adventures you've had,
The sweat and hard work you've put in.
or the times when you just wanted to goof around,
Think about how many of them you've known your entire life.
and how many of them you wished you had known your entire life.
Just take a long look at these people.
When high school ends, most of you are likely never going to see each other again.
And if you do, it'll be with a different mindset.
Everybody is going to go down different paths.
Whether it be taking a step to join the greatest team in the world, the United States military,
Or going to college for computer engineering,
time is both the healer of all wounds.
and the destroyer of all relationships.
Savor the time you've spent together with these people.
Because you only graduate once.
Yo-go. Life's going to get in the way.
While graduation is a time to celebrate and get ready to experience life,
It's also a time to mourn the separation of you and the people you know and love.
so take some time and say some final words with these people.
Because I, for one,
We, for two,
have made so many memories with this class.
and we are never going to forget them. So, speaking of time, ours together is about up.
Remember all of the things that you have accomplished these past 13 years.
And know that we can now say, in the words of Julius Caesar,
Veni,
Vidi, Vici.
we came,
We saw, we conquered.
let's hear it, class of 2015!
Thank you, Henry and Jacob. It's tough to follow Henry, but at this time, someone that can follow Henry much better than myself is our honored staff speaker, chosen by the class of 2015, Mr. Todd Hyland.
I haven't said anything yet. Good afternoon, everyone. I didn't realize this was audience participation. Awesome. All right. This is great, isn't it? Awesome. This is great. We should probably do this every year. Now remember, you are the 99th class that has graduated from Park. Now, I've personally had the privilege of watching the last 17 classes graduate from this ceremony, and I have to say, out of all of those classes, you guys are definitely one of them. It's from the heart. I am truly honored to be able to speak to you tonight, and in preparing for what I was going to talk to you about, I recalled my own high school graduation way back in the 20th century. I tried to remember the mix of excitement and anxiety I felt thinking about engaging in the chase of all the goals that I wanted to pursue. It's kind of like how you felt when you would see that very special someone in the hallway at school. Your knees would get weak and you get butterflies in your stomach. And you weren't really sure what to say, so you went and got one of those boxes of candy hearts with the messages on them. And you reached in the box, and you pulled out the one that said, I love you, but that's too aggressive, so you put it back in the box. And instead, you pulled out the one that just said, hi. That's how I met my wife. In fact, the thrill of the chase reminds me of a story. Now, this story took place last year about this time, during one of the hardest days of rain in recent history. On that day, I had signed up to volunteer at a soccer tournament in Woodbury as a field marshal, which sounds way more important than it is. What that really means is that I was required to be in charge of keeping track of a box near the field that held the player passes while the game was going on. That detail is not really important, other than the fact that it required me to stand on the sidelines during the game. What is important is that during my volunteer shift, it was raining and the wind was blowing horizontally, harder than I ever remember. And I'm like 74 years old, so that's a lot of rain. Now, I grew up playing baseball, and one big difference between baseball and soccer is how those sports respond to weather. In baseball, it seems like if somebody sneezes into the wind, it's a 20-minute rain delay. But in soccer, unless lightning is spotted, you must play on. Why? Because things like a third-grade competitive soccer game, I guess, is a vital component of life. And the entire sustainability of the United States depends on those games being completed. No, I haven't gotten over it yet. Anyway, the wind was blowing so hard, I had to hold my umbrella directly in front of me to block the elements. I was frozen in this position, bracing against the wind for 20 minutes. But by the grace of God, someone with more power than me heard what they thought was lightning. I think it was just a passing semi. They ordered everyone off the field. Most everyone crammed into the nearby equipment shelter. I, on the other hand, found a safe and protected spot outside the equipment shelter underneath the roof overhang. I was the only one there, and I was just watching this amazing spectacle of rain and wind when I spotted a lone black umbrella tumbling rapidly down Radio Drive by where Jerry's grocery store is now. Then I noticed something else. About 30 yards behind the tumbling umbrella was a man chasing the umbrella. He was in hot pursuit, but the gap between him and the umbrella was not closing. I watched as the umbrella very nimbly bounded between cars and oncoming traffic and across Radio Drive and up a dirt hill that had accumulated from the construction. The man, albeit not quite as nimbly, navigated the same path as the umbrella. Consequently, both the umbrella and then the man disappeared over the other side of the construction dirt hill. About 30 seconds later, the man emerged from the hill with a now broken umbrella. And he started walking in the direction of where I was standing near the equipment shelter. It took him a few minutes for him to reach me, but when he got within earshot, all I could do was clap my hands and say, "Sir, that was an impressive and valiant effort." To which he responded by saying, "Yeah, and it's not even my umbrella." Now, you might be thinking, what in the world does that dumb story have to do with me, us, or anything else in life, you crazy old man? Well, actually, there are 3 ways to get some meaning out of that story. First one is this. You are about to embark on an amazing journey, and there will be many things you will want to accomplish and pursue, but here's lesson number 1. Just make sure you aren't pursuing someone else's umbrella, because when you finally catch it, reaching that goal will have caused you to expend a lot of energy over something that won't bring you the satisfaction you are hoping for. The symbolic umbrellas you will be pursuing during your lives have to have meaning to you. The second meaning is something I just thought about a short time ago. You see, I never had a long conversation with that man that day about what I witnessed and what he lived that day. And I just assumed that he started his chase after the umbrella because he mistakenly thought it was his. But what if he knew from the very beginning that he was getting his energy and motivation from the mere fact that he was doing that for the benefit of someone else? This seems like the exact opposite meaning from the first meaning I shared with you, but the key is understanding the why behind your umbrella pursuits. Both the first and the second meaning of this little story revolve around the importance of the why you are pursuing in the first place. Once you've identified that, the chase will become a part of who you are. Which leads me to the last meaning of the story. You will all achieve things and capture many umbrellas in your future. But as author John Ortberg says, more important than the things you achieve in your life is who you become through the process of achieving them. Life's final achievements mean much less than the road that was attained or road that was traveled to attain them. Even a Super Bowl victory just doesn't seem as gratifying if you had to deflate the footballs to get it. Oh, I'm sorry, is Tom Brady here tonight? Now, even though I could not pick that man who was chasing the umbrella that day out of a crowd, I learned quite a bit about him that day. I learned that he is a person that doesn't give up easily, even when faced with many and various obstacles. I could also tell he was a person that was not just willing to lightly contribute his encouragement to the task, like me. He was sold out to being committed to the task. And commitment is different than contributing. For instance, my favorite breakfast is bacon and eggs. Now the chicken makes a contribution to my breakfast, but the pig is committed to my breakfast. I'll wait for you to figure that one out. What are you willing to totally sell out to and commit yourself to pursuing? What tonight signifies for you is that you have readied your minds to commit to engaging in the journey. You have developed through your years in school incredible minds and talents that you will now be able to put to use in the pursuit of your goals. Since I taught some of you political science, I thought I would include a couple of former U.S. president quotes about the importance of the mind. President John F. Kennedy said that the human mind is our fundamental resource. And President Ronald Reagan said, there are no constraints on the human mind, no walls around the human spirit, no barriers to our progress except those we ourselves erect. It has also been stated that the mind is a weapon that doesn't need a holster. That wasn't from a president, that was from Paul Blart Mall Cop. Tonight is both the celebration of what you've achieved and an announcement of the fact that you are now ready to engage in a lifelong chase. Looking at that idea pessimistically, one might say that there are always going to be umbrellas that I have to chase after and catch. But looking at that optimistically, someone else would say there are always going to be umbrellas that you get to chase after and catch. As for me, I still have umbrellas I'm pursuing at 74 years old. In fact, this will probably be the last graduation speech I ever give, because I am announcing tonight that I am committing all of my energy toward appearing on an upcoming sequel of Sharknado. You laugh. But just wait until you see me on the big screen getting my head bitten off by a hammerhead shark. Then who's going to be laughing? Class of 2015, good luck and enjoy the journey, but don't ever forget to bring your umbrella. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Highland. At this time, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2015 to Dr. Keith Jacobus, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Jacobus These seniors have met the requirements of the state of Minnesota and Independent School District 833. By the authority vested in me as the principal of Park High School, I certify that the members of this class of 2015 gathered at this ceremony have completed the necessary requirements and are eligible to receive a diploma. Dr. Jacobus?
I have to say before I accept this class how nervous I am to be up here. For those of you in the audience, our student speakers are just a great representation of our entire class. And it's humbling and intimidating to be in front of you and speaking in front of you. It's humbling and intimidating to be a superintendent with a staff, as Mr. Hyland represents all of our teachers. So, as the superintendent of schools and on behalf of the school board, I am proud to accept this class and grant them their diplomas as a symbol of their accomplishment and graduation from the South Washington County School District. We are fortunate this spring to thank and congratulate over 1,400 seniors as they leave our district. I want to thank the parents and guardians and extended family members who helped these students on their journey to get here today. I also want to thank our teachers and support staff for helping you achieve this milestone in your life. We have great expectations for you, and I know that you have the skills and ability to meet all of those expectations. I've been proud to watch you demonstrate wisdom beyond your years, caring for each other, and creativity in your thinking and your projects. All of those abilities will help you succeed, but I hope that you and your classmates will remember how important it is to help each other. We cannot solve our society's problems or create the world that we hope to have for our kids and our grandkids without realizing that we must care about each other as much as we care about ourselves. So I ask you as you leave today to lead a life of kindness. And you've heard a number of quotes. I want to add one quote from Albert Schweitzer, and he said, "Constant kindness can accomplish much. Just as the sun makes ice melt, kindness causes misunderstanding, mistrust, and hostility to evaporate." I'm optimistic that we are in great hands as you become the future leaders of our country, and I hope that you will lead and live in kindness. Good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobus. Student presenters and Board of Education members, please proceed to grant the class of 2015 their diplomas. Will the first row of seniors please stand and come forward to receive your diplomas.
Mary Elizabeth Babinski. Henry Patrick Gibney. Hannah DeBrine. Jacob Thomas Hopp. Alexandra Lynn Horvath. Jarrett Patrick Manzer. Bailey Canberra Asen. Itunu Oluwatosin Olakoga. Joseph Paul Beitendorf. Zachary John Suseg. Ellie Ann Stylar. Emily Eileen Lemons. Morgan Michelle Fox. Danielle Lauren Lewis. Bridget Lynn Friedel. Dong Min Mai.
Molly Ann House.
McKenna Jaylene Meyer.
Braden P. Henderson.
Margaret Ann Oppold.
Ryan Joseph Hennon.
Mackenzie Crystal Opsey.
Justin Toma Heemstra.
Elizabeth A. Pearson.
Kayla Nicole Howard.
Sarah Catherine Pins.
Megan Elizabeth Kimmel.
Paige Marie Kress.
Cora Elizabeth Lehman.
Adam James Raymond.
Mitchell Abraham.
Benjamin Aaron Young Schroeder.
Megan Elizabeth Ackerman.
Madeline Marie Jane Lagoon.
Parker William Adams.
Haley Madison Lamar.
Matthew Joseph Aguilar.
Emily Ann Lang.
Kadra Abdirzak Ahmed.
Jacob Allen Lanick.
Ashlyn Kate Allheiser.
Giannina L'Oreal Larson.
Janelle Ann Allram.
Carl Douglas Larson.
Samantha Jean Anderson.
Josiah Lewis Laternus.
Bradley Michael Anschutz.
Maya Leigh Labrador.
Hannah Ray Ashley.
Elizabeth Lila Laval.
Aubrey Jewel Aselson.
Joseph Martin Levine.
Anne Marie Lango Austin.
Johanna Amanda Lewis.
Fabian Ayana.
Jacob Allen Lindemann.
Hannah Christine Beatty.
Adam T. Lynn.
Peyton Elaine Baker.
Rayna Lee Lippert.
Kyle David Barr.
Dynasty Zishia Lowe.
Ryan Joseph Banazuski.
Tyler Lockheed.
Cole Joseph Beaton.
Aaron D. Longset.
Hannah Kennedy Bear.
Christopher Patrick Lopez.
Carrie L. Butte.
Caesar Uriel Lopez.
Danielle Joseph Bebo.
Jacob Gustavo Lopez.
Michael James Blackburn.
Elizabeth Gray Lowe.
Paige Charlene Boki.
Eric Leland Mace.
Andrew John Baus.
Ryan William Mackle.
Dana Marie Bovey.
Amy Deanna Mackenberg.
Alexandra Marie Boyer.
Emily Nancy Mackenberg.
Wyatt Lee Britton.
Patricia Therese Maestas.
Abigail May Brosnahan.
Samantha Rain Matthews.
Matthew Robert Bruce.
Dimitri Isaiah Martin.
Samantha Rose Brum.
Samantha Ann Maruska.
Andrew John Buckner.
Caitlin Jo Machinsky.
Anthony Philip Buechner.
Joshua Charles Maurer.
Margaret McKenna Bunton.
Miguel Maldonado McGowan.
Madeline Riley McNeary.
Grace Ann Bertman. Haley Suzanne Mead. Sarah Lee Calhoun.
Mercedes Mejia.
Courtney Brian Campbell.
Jamie Vanessa Mejia Jacinto.
Elizabeth Lucille Carlson.
Jeb Thomas Nelson.
Madeline Rachel Castro.
Saul Alejandro Mendez.
Jean Chua Cha.
Edward John Messamore.
Shemang Adam Chang.
Megan K. Miller.
Justice Jeremiah Clark.
Dominic Christian Moe.
Amarinda Clarice Clark.
Gabrielle Rose Mogonicki.
Sterling Hayden Cluton.
Amber Joy Monson.
Donovan Lee Conway.
Matthew Michael Moran.
Grant Michael Connor.
Caitlin Leah Moreland.
David Michael Constantine.
Amanda Jean Moriarty.
Matthew Daniel Cook.
Alexis Dominique Moses.
Craig D'Angelo Cooper.
Brianna G. Moi.
Lucas Raymond Coy.
Abigail Susan Murphy.
Nicholas Alden Creighton.
Karan Murphy.
Christina Lou Craven.
Madeline Elizabeth Nelson.
Sonia Gauthier Crawford.
Zachary David Nelson.
Brandon Dennis Christ.
Megan Diane Nemo.
Christian Troy Cruz.
Elizabeth Louise Newton.
John Michael Lloyd Cullinan.
Sydney Marie Niles.
Justin T. Darst.
Bailey Shea Nolan.
David Weston Dagenar.
Jenna Catherine Ocasio.
McDim Gazine Dejeni.
Caitlin Temitope Ogunwami.
Dylan Ryan Damaris.
Christina B. Ojo.
Jansen Ryan Damaris.
Marissa Irene O'Kane.
Bailey Marie Deneen.
Ryan Gregory Olson.
Brandon Michael Den.
Jordan Christopher Olson.
Alex Christopher Deo.
Jessica Robin Olson.
Annie Elizabeth Diamond.
Opio J. Omont.
Clay Matthew Dietrich.
Erica A. Oropesa.
Lena Dittmar.
Emily Y. Padilla.
Amanda Ann Driggins.
Gabriella May Page.
Alana Rose Dufresne.
Colin Bradford James Parsons.
Sawyer Dwayne Duncanson.
Gina Pasuti.
Daniel Stephen Duvall.
Hannah Elizabeth Patterson.
Dara Eve.
Sullivan C. Pearson.
Jessica Ann Eli.
Abigail Lynn Henderson.
Brittany Ann Ellingson.
Alyssa Marie Peterson.
Caitlin Delaney Eastman.
Bradley Joseph Peterson.
Alexander Michael Erickson.
Martin John Payton.
Michaela Lynn Erickson.
Amy Xiong Fan.
Mario Diego Espinoza.
Jenny Marie Codell.
Noelle Christine Early.
Jacob Lee Popowitz.
Inubog Dominique Nicole Ayo.
Haley Mae Porter.
Benjamin Michael Farmer.
Caitlin Marie Watts.
Alexander Benjamin Fillmore.
Noah Christopher Raditz.
Kinsey Elizabeth Fink.
Jacob L. Reisman.
Caleb Richard Fisher.
Elena Elizabeth Reed.
Carissa Faith Fisher.
Princeton S. Reed.
Hannah Fitzsimmons.
Natalie Ruth Remus.
Corey Mitchell Flata.
Catherine Ann Bernard.
Amanda Lee Landrich.
Michaela Nicole Rango.
Carter John Fleury.
Maria Guadalupe Reyes.
Denon Lee Fliss.
Jude Allen Rich.
Daniela Cassandra Flores Gayton.
Serena Leanne Richard.
Michaela Francisca Flores.
Gina Rose Rustani.
Stephanie Michelle Flores Ortiz.
Dean Edward Roberts.
Stephanie Ellen Fodor.
Lluvia Alejandra Rodriguez.
Megan Ray Forsyth.
Marissa Ann Rowan.
Lucas Gregory Bossum.
Jacob Timothy Rogers.
Molly Kate Fowler.
Timothy Allen Rollins.
Brenna Frankie.
Caitlin Joe Rosati.
Micah James Frankie.
Caitlin Noel Ryder.
Jeremiah Daniel Franz.
Kaylin Marie Ruiz.
Taylor Alexis Frechette.
Ashley Marie Reichman.
Michael Christian Freiberger.
Sarah Lynn Shank.
Emily Ann Fusco.
Rebecca Elizabeth Schleicher.
Kayleen Ann Gallus.
Matthew Charles Schmidt.
Stephen Eric Gamness.
Alexander Riley Schmidt.
Corey Pedro Garcia.
Skylar May Schubeller.
Julissa Garcia Sanchez.
Laura Ann Schrankler.
Morena Lee Garcia.
Tyler Curtis Schroeder.
Madeline Christine Gardner.
Rebecca Irene Schulte.
Jamie Lynn Gardner.
Logan Daniel Schultz.
Jessica Ann Magdara Geis.
Ryan Michael Schwab.
Nicholas Joseph Germscheid.
Alyssa Ann Schwantes.
Nicholas Nathan Giles.
Hannah May Schwartz.
Christopher Alexander Gill. Justin Erwinson Schwartz.
Seth M. Glass.
Haley Ann Scarra.
Clayton John Gable.
Carly Lee Swinar.
Javier Antonio Gonzalez.
Tristan James Skokin.
Natalie Gordon Robles.
Amaya Marie Smith.
Aaron Lewis Gores.
Taylor Quinn Smith.
Thomas Bradley Gross.
Jennifer S. Song.
Natalie Catherine Ray Gulan.
Jonathan Visang Song.
Winchester Forbes Hagsman.
Megan Ann Statler.
Leah Catherine Halbert.
Samantha Lynn Stanbrook.
Alexandra Marie Hanna.
Wyatt Michael Stanton.
Carrie A. Hanna.
Adrian Hyen Starr.
Kayla Marie Hansen.
Rodney Robert Stett.
Brianne McKenna Hamilton.
Eric Matthew Stifter.
Sarah Elizabeth Hamilton.
Haley Marie Stonemark.
Lucas Robert Harving Benson.
Jennifer Ann Strauss.
Joshua M. Hoff.
Willow Mackenzie Stewart.
Alan Patrick James Haugen.
Rachel Marie Suter.
Jordan Lynn Hines.
Zachary Scott Taylor.
Austin Kelly Heiderscheid.
Jack Thomas Tolliver.
Austin David Hemish.
Justin C. Tao.
Sophia Elizabeth Heppola.
Riley Nicole Thayer.
Alexia Ray Heesrich.
Samantha Julia Thompson.
Adam Joel Hitchcock.
Stevie Ray Thompson.
Austin Charles Holman.
Stephen Thong Siosek.
Ryan Jared Holmes.
Catherine Ann Tim.
Robert W. N. Howard.
Grace Christine Titus.
Jesus Trevino Horacha.
Zachary Richard Trummer.
Blake Thomas Hummelgard.
Brandon Lee Tulloch.
Hannah Elizabeth Huntley.
Jeremiah Quan Turner.
Noah Namdi Ijoma.
Aaron Lynn Twig.
Cody Justin Jacala.
Josette Marie Violet.
Luis Abel Jaime.
Sandra Pauda Bang.
Aaron W. Jenkins.
Samuel Bang.
Samantha Marie Genrich.
Jimmy Bang.
Nathaniel Charles Jensen.
Tui Bang.
Jared Allen Giuseppe.
Eric Moses Ventura.
Abigail Annette Johnson.
Michael William Vernig.
Anthony Thomas Johnson.
Alyssa Catherine Omer Johnson.
Matthew G. Johnson.
Jesse Ray Wadena.
Natalie Grace Johnson.
Callie Jean Walseth.
Noah Thomas Johnson.
Carly Ann Waschenberger.
Riley Dean Johnson.
Samuel Webb.
Dallas John Jones.
Jacqueline Nicole Webb.
Maitland Janae Jordan.
Rachel Nicole Weniger.
Leah Jean Joseph.
Alyssa Jo Westerdahl.
Anthony Paul Juba.
Caitlin Rose Whaley.
Anthony Santha Kamara.
Jonathan Allen White.
Caleb Emil Kamara.
Alyssa Jean Wickenhausen.
Zachary Aaron Cash.
Antoinette Jewel Williams.
Joshua Robert Garnetz.
Carlene Marie Williams.
Joseph John Karp.
Haley Elizabeth Jane Wilson.
Dalton Vaughn Kelly.
Robert Charles Windmill.
Dahaje Debonair Kennedy.
Veda Marcella Witt.
Evan Lewis Kennedy.
Candy Marie Wohlers.
Michael John Gilstock.
Christian James Wallenberg.
Sarah Lynn Klingbeil.
Akua Redua Oprah Wood.
Joseph William Knudsen.
Tyson O'Brien Woodrich.
Terrence Key Kotleboy.
Blake Zachary Wright.
Madison J. Caden.
Brianna May Walkowitz.
Ayana Angelica Comer.
Alexandria Gaudia Yang.
Lucas Edmund Guzman.
Cheyenne Yang.
Ryan Richard Cochran.
Julie Yang.
Lindsay Morgan Kofi.
Sandra Yang.
Elliot James Cribb.
Brandon Jerome Young.
Chandler Martin Krupsak.
Seth Curtis Zabel.
Lindsay Marie Caballas.
Ryan James Zako.
Andrew Lewis Key.
Thane Allen Zimet.
Alexandra J. Kuda.
Daniel Carla Zoga Jr.
Connor Ryan Coventry.
Brenna Nicole Ellis.
Ashley Afton Rice.
Ryan Paul Tolkinen.
Ethan Dean Berube.
Graduates, please stand and move your tassels from the right side of your hat to the left side, signifying your status as a graduate of Park High School. This concludes today's ceremony. Class of 2015, congratulations.